And there we go. Welcome back, everyone. We are about to have an epic stream together, and I don't just mean that in the sense that it will be one for the ages, although hopefully it will be. What I mean is we are going to be making epic poetry, or at least we're going to be making a little tiny excerpt of epic poetry. And we are going to do it in the language Kra Nzlor, which we have talked about a lot, but we have not developed much of it yet. So that is our plan for today. We are going to flesh out this language, this Kra Nzlor language, and we're going to write epic poetry. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about this. How about you? Welcome, everyone. Good to see some familiar names in the chat. We need a Kra Nzlor William the Conqueror. Yeah, we do. We need a Kra Nzlor William the Conqueror, and I think we have some potential names. Because I don't know if you remember, but in the Sakrat stream, like the very first one, we made up some names. So we already have some really epic sounding names to go, at least in Proto-Sakrat, so we can easily adapt them into Kra Nzlor. We have our sound changes. And I think this will be a good opportunity for us to mess around with the grammar a bit and come up with some cool things that make Kra Nzlor distinctive, because unlike the other Sakrat languages, which have, tone, so Mie and Sasyut both have tone systems, Kra Nzlor has no tone system. So we need to find something to make it to give it a bit of interest. I think this is my thought. So that's the plan. We are going to, we're going to have some fun. I saw ship, the fruit holder. Does anyone know this is a deep cut? The holder of the fruit, Dwan Tarun. Maybe this is the name of a culture hero or something for going way back in time to the ancestral Sakrat people. Okay, so I think it's time for us to go in, and I'll say hello to future YouTube, and then we'll go in and we'll start work. Yeah, okay. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back. Are you ready for an epic time? Because, and I don't mean any pun here, we are going to start writing epic poetry in one of our conlangs, Kra Nzlor. So this is our plan for the day. We're going to figure out a poetic system. We're going to work on and augment the grammar and vocabulary of this language, and we're going to have a good time. But before I go over to the side, I just want to say a big thank you to our patrons who make this whole thing possible. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's without further ado go over to the side webcam, and here we have you can see Ship. I've been thinking along the same lines as you. So we have the Proto-Sakrat name Dwan Tarun, which is the holder of the fruit, from Dwan, hold, here, and way down here, Tarun, fruit, or outcome or result. When we put this through the sound changes to go to Kra Nzlor, it becomes Dwan Trun. So we could have our little epic called The Song of Dwan Trun. This would be kind of like the culture hero that we're writing about. So we have a lot of decisions to make. Pixel is asking what's the context of this culture that we're writing this epic in. So what do we know about Kra Nzlor so far? We know that they are. So Kra Nzlor, the language, is a Sakrat language, which is a language that originated in a sort of archipelago situation and has spread widely. We know Kra Nzlor is a language that was spoken at one point by a very, very influential, almost imperial power, because we have a language contact situation going on between Kra Nzlor and Lenethailef, in which Kra Nzlor is the high prestige language, and one of the classic ways that would happen is, imperial conquest. So I think that's a reasonable reasonable thing to nail down for Kra Nzlor. Other than that, we don't have a lot. They are descended from the language at least is descended from the language of these Polynesian-inspired Sakrat people. So that's what we've got so far. We don't have much more than that. So I think we have a wide open canvas to write the Song of Tuan Trun. I think that there was an invasion across the sea. I don't have the maps up here at the moment, but the speakers of Kra Nzlor lived on a different continent originally, and they migrated over, and yada yada yada. Then suddenly, it's a high prestige language in this other continent. So that's what we know so far. So yeah, we got to write this poem. It's us. There's no one else. So we have to figure out what kind of poetic system we want. We want this tradition to use, and I'm thinking I don't want to use the same kinds of things we've used for me poetry, and I don't want to use the same kind of thing we've used for Lenethailef poetry. These are the two sort of poetic systems we've explored. I'd like to do something else, and I was sort of thinking about this all last night, lying in bed, tossing and turning, thinking of poetic systems. And I think what we want to do is give ourselves something with enough flexibility to let us just sort of riff. So I don't want it to be as constrained as the me poetry. Satan, I see what you're writing. Acknowledged. Phrase level stress that stretches and squishes syllables. Okay. Let's return to this, because we're going to have an opportunity to mess with the grammar and maybe make some more changes to Kra Nzlor. I don't want to make too many more phonological changes to it, because we've already used its current state as the basis of the Creole spoken by in the Lenethailef territory. We need to come up with some place names as well. But anyway, one thing at a time. So yeah, poetic system, not as constrained as the meme poetic system. I think maybe we need something that feels as free as English iambic pentameter. And so maybe what we can do, and we can experiment and see what it feels like, is to do something like iambic pentameter in Kra Nzlor, although with a twist. So we could do something like... So Kra Nzlor is basically a monosyllabic language. I mean, I don't think there's any... there's no exception to this. But what I was thinking was we could have 5... How to put this? So in iambic pentameter, the basic form is weak strong, weak strong, weak strong, weak strong, weak strong. So iamb is weak strong, and pentameter is 5 of those. So an iamb is a type of foot, and it goes weak strong. So apart, aside, alike, attack. All of these words are iambs. And iambic pentameter says take 5 iambs and put them together. What we could do is something like that for Kra Nzlor, but we have this really cool thing in Sakrat, which is we have these ancestral syllables that have these that are in the shape of iambs. That's a great example. Galactic Sand, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Da-dun, 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 da-dun. And there are variations and things you can do to add interest, so that not every line is da-dun, 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 da-dun. But nevertheless, that's the basis, the sort of skeleton of iambic pentameter. So going off of the idea that Proto-Sakrat is a heavily iambic language, so susiut, tanglek, tikal, tinan, titip, maybe we can have some kind of ancestral, maybe the poetic tradition was started at an ancestral stage of the language when we still had these minor syllables here. So we have actually this weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. But susiut, which would have been weak, strong in Proto-Socrat, right? This works. This scans. Susiut. In Kra Nzlor, it's just siut. But maybe the poetic tradition remembers that there was something else here. And so there are some words which can fill both slots and some words which can't. So otherwise you might have to do something like, let's see. So negative is tar and not remove. So this would also be fine. Not remove, tartoir, weak, strong. So we'd have something like a function word. If we have a function word, we can have that filling the weak segment. So given this, Dwan Trun would scan Dwan Trun. It would be strong and then weak, strong. So this would actually fit within an iambic line, as long as we have some weak syllable to go before it, which would be easy if we have some kind of grammatical particle that comes before. All right, so I think this is basically the idea, and then maybe we could add rhyme or something like that. So the poet has to know whether the word is one of those words that had an ancestral vowel there. And maybe the writing system, when we eventually get to that, will respect that and show and be written differently when when an initial cluster was part of a minor syllable in the past. So I think this could be fun. And then, we could just do end rhyme or something like that. And so get everything into nice little rhyming couplets. We'll see if it ends up being too samey, and then we can mess with it a bit. But I think for now, it could be fun. So maybe to indicate this, to indicate the fact that Trun is an ancestral iamb, we might write it like that. Oh, Galactic said, yeah. So maybe in performance, a little epenthetic vowel comes in again. So you have this kind of atavistic, if you will, this throwback, this phonological throwback. Or maybe Trun is ambiguous and it can act as weak, strong, or just strong. I don't know. So yeah. Biscuit Rizdu, thank you for joining us live. Glad you could join us. Okay, so let's try and write a line of this, or a couplet. So since we don't have a ton of vocabulary, we can kind of make stuff up as we go along. So the Song of Dwan Tarun. So it's an epic poem. A convention in a lot of our epic poetry is to sort of start things off by announcing what you're talking about, what the sort of the big idea is. English teachers everywhere just sort of like tearing their hair out at the way I've described that, but we need a verb for sing. So do we have one? All right, so let's make one. So we have our syllable structure here. This is for Proto-Socrat. So what we'll do is we'll come up with a proto form for sing and then run it through the sound changes, and then that will be our Kra Nzlor form. Okay. So I think we shouldn't introduce Dwan Tarun until the second line of this couplet. So maybe we can write out a basic, like a gloss for the poem, just so that we can know what we have to make. So maybe we can start off with let's just write it in English to start. I sing of one who has sailed against the current, something like that. Oops, and one who has sailed against. I remember, I don't know if this was on Discord or in a stream, someone was suggesting that the Sakrat people may have sailed against the current so that it would be easier to get back home. Does that ring a bell to anyone? I don't remember. I want to credit who said it, but I forget because my memory is not so good. Mangan. Okay, yeah, let's use that. So to sing. So that's like mangan, right? Yeah. Pro mangan. What does this turn into? Let's find out. Don't need all of these. Man. Yeah, okay, that may have been in the Discord. By the way, hey, YouTube, if you don't know about the Discord, check the description. Lots of great people on there with great ideas about sailing and many things besides. So, man. Man is our word for sing, and it's going to be iambic compatible. Okay. Back here. So I sing of one who has sailed against the current. How are we going to do this in Kra Nzlor grammar? Probably something like sing sail against current one. I think we have a text that has a lot of this one. We need the relativizer, don't we? Yeah. So literally I sing of the one who sailed against the current. And then we could have another line that's something like Duan Tarun, Duan Trun, and then we have to describe our hero here. Ooh, Nanya. All right, we're definitely going to need a lot of phonological shapes, so this is helpful. Ooh, Storm Sailor. Yes. Sailor. And then what else can we say? What else can we say about Duan Trun? Duan Trun, the Storm Sailor. I don't know, like something like vanquished many foes or something like that. I don't know. Is that too cheesy? Or have I been reading Beowulf too much? This very appositive kind of poetry is basically all over Beowulf, incidentally. So if you so apposition, I should introduce that term, I think. So if you have the king, a great man, wearer of crowns, a ruler of empires, all of these things are referring back to the king. So you're just sort of giving alternative descriptions of the king over and over again. This the relationship between these noun phrases is apposition, and it's a major poetic device in Old English poetry, especially in Beowulf and heroic poetry, and it's called variation when in that context. But anyway, so we could use some of that here. So I sing of one who sailed against the current, Duan Tarun, the storm sailor, vanquished many foes. I think that's a respectable couplet. when we make it rhyme and work nicely in Kra Nzlor. What foes are being vanquished? Read on. That we'll find out the next line, I think. So let's take this and try to make it work with our meter. I don't know why the word sailor is looking really weird to me. So vanquished, I don't know what we want to do for that. Many. How do we do adjectives in this? Or will we call many an adjective? Let's see if we have any precedent. We have these quantifiers going after the noun. That's kind of cool. But I don't think we have many anywhere. No, nothing. All right. Vanquished many. Something like this. I don't know if we want what we want many to be. No. We do have many. Top. Okay. How have we used it? Much. So we want then foes many. All right, so what do we have here in terms of the actual linguistic material? We need more rows. So we need, these are all in the wrong order. Colin, get it together. Get it together. Okay. It is, yeah, Jack, you're right. It's noun adjective. And so sailor storm. So we have Dwan, Trun, Skrat, and where's storm? Skratenzun. And I'm just going to mark the little potentially iambic words like this. Vanquish. Do we have we don't have conquer. Conquer. Vanquish. Defeat. Win. Okay, we have win. So maybe we can transitivize this to mean conquer. Mrak. Dwan trun skrat nzun mrak fo many. And we may end up changing our mind about the iambic pentameter. We may end up going with something else once we see what this actually entails. But let's see what it actually entails. So enemy, do we have enemy? Emeny. We don't. Okay, so we need a word for enemy. And then many is top. Iambic tetrameter is an interesting one because it kind of, to me, it's very sing-songy. I'm trying to think, what would be a poem? Let's get some iambic tetrameter. Let's get an example of a poem that has iambic tetrameter. Right. Come live with me and be my love, and we will all the pleasures prove that hills and valleys, dales and fields, woods or steepy mountain yields. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we have here, and then we'll decide what meter seems to fit it. Right. Oh, love improve. The thing about love improve is that, so this is kind of controversial in like the early modern English sphere, such as it is. These kind of I rhymes, as they're called, they did indeed rhyme in an earlier stage of the language. People tried to take the fact that they rhyme as evidence for how people spoke when they were composing the poem. But it's true that some poets just know that it's a convention that, say, love and prove rhyme and continue on with it, while nevertheless distinguishing the two in their speech. Yeah, David Crystal is an example of someone who uses this argument in favor of the fact that those two were still the same at the time of the writing of the poetry. Other people disagree. Yeah. So, and in early modern English, yeah, see and thee, those front vowels in early modern English are a mess. I don't have the expertise to say much about them, but they're the sociolinguistic situation in for early modern English is just so messy and complicated that, yeah, interesting. Maybe worth a video one day if I can sit down and record and research it all enough to be able to come with something that I'm confident in saying to you. At the moment, I'll just say there's some weird stuff going on there. Right. Okay. And then what else do we have? We have a word for sing. Man. And we actually have a different word for sail, as in we use a different word for the verb sail as in the noun sailor. I kind of like this for poetic purposes. Maybe there is a verb skrat as well, but for our purposes, we'll keep them separate. So sing, sail. Do we have against? I don't think we do. So we need an against. And then do we have a current? We have something like a path though, right? Yeah, navigable river. I wonder if in Kra Nzlor this one might have changed into a word that meant current, because it's like a path on the sea. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too... overboard, but nevertheless, I kind of like it. Man, bran, something, ngri. And then the relative marker is a, right? And one is te, I think. Yeah. Okay. Man bran something ngriate, dwan trun skrat zun mrak something tap. All right, so we have our work cut out for us to make this fit a meter. Okay, so we need two words. Nanya was suggested earlier, so let's use that. Let's see what happens to it. Nanya. Namya. That's very weird. I don't know if that's what we necessarily want. But you know what? We're going with it. Mya. We have this dissimilation. The nasal dissimilation in Kra Nzlor is real. All right, so what are we going to do? Is this going to be against or is this going to be foe? I think we could make this foe, enemy, and give future Colin a little bit of a break there, depending on what I search for. And we've got all of these historical iams here. I think we need to get some things that are more monosyllabic. So for against, I'm going to make up a little word. Where is the... maybe something like ba, because not everything has to be so long. So ba against. And what does this turn into? Probably just ba, I think. Yeah. Ba. Okay. Oh, got some good echo words. Thank you. I'm going to put le in here for the next time we need something. Okay, so what do we have? Man bran bangriate dwan trun skrat zun mrak nyatap. Okay. So we may have to have some fun with word order here. Now this is it's tough though, because this is an isolating analytic SVO language. It may be hard for us to mess with word order too much unless we have some sort of a device that we use to show that something's fronted. Okay, so we have so far weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak. We'll say that's strong. And here we have, to be honest, Dwan is strong. I don't know why I said it, to be honest. There's no possibility of me not being honest there. Weak, strong, strong. All right. So, yeah, we can front the add positional phrases. Although we don't really have any in this case. Because I sing of is just in the, this is, man is being used transitively here. Maybe we can have some grammar that's like, I am fronted. Oh yeah, that's true. Against the current is an add positional phrase. So does that save us? Okay, hold on. I gotta think about this. Man bran bangri ate. This bangri is hard. Yeah, maybe this can sort of, I don't know who suggests, someone suggested it. Add positions can combine. So what I'm thinking is maybe we can have a sort of combination here where ba, a light, like a preposition, can sort of glom onto the next, onto the former minor syllable of the next root. So you can have WW going to W. So I'm just putting these together to indicate that they're one. So ngman bran bangriate. Ngman. I'm going to put it in schwas so that you can hear the former iams. Ngman bran bangriate. Bangriate. So okay, that's good. We have essentially, what was that? I don't know. We have iambic tetrameter here. Ngaman baran bangriate. Okay, good. Then what else can we do? Not a lot we can put onto this line. Unless we put in a little something at the start, like a what. Sorry, I got Beowulf on the brain. Maybe something like saying like here, like yeah, hear ye type kind of thing. Mram. So this is something like, hear me sing of one. And that will work. That'll iamb us up. That'll pentameter us up. Mram ngman baran bangriate. Mram ngman. Oh, sorry. I'll put the schwas in. Mram ngman baran bangriate. Okay, and then we have to put something before Duan Thrun. Maybe there's a little honorific. There's a little honorific proclitic that we can put in. Do we have anything like that in here? Oh yeah, we have this proper name thingy. Maybe, yeah, let's use that. And maybe this yo proper name marker in Kra Nzlor becomes a kind of an honorific. So proper name, we're saved. Yo Duan Tarun Sakrat Nzun. And then we have this vanquished foes many thing, which is not going to fit. Unless we did that kind of Maram. So let's remove this last bit. Just forget. We're going to consider it without that. Maram mangman baran bangriate. Yodwan tarun sakrat nzun. I feel like we can't do the 5-4 thing. Unless we wanted to rhyme. This is tough. This is like Sudoku. Yodwan tarun sakrat nzun. I want to do something with this rhyme too. It's kind of nice. What if we did Maram man yodwan tarun? Maram man yodwan tarun barang bangriate. So this would be, hear me sing of Duan Tarun. Yeah. I think we're onto something here. This is kind of like that ballad meter. Who sailed against the tide. Hear me sing of Duan Tarun who sailed against the tide. Okay, it's starting to work in English too. If we put the A here. Oh, hear me sing of Duan Tarun who sailed against the tide. I'm enjoying myself too much. It's starting to sound like a limerick. Yeah, that's the same meter. No, it's not a meter. This is ballad meter. Not a limerick. A limerick is it's the dun da dun da 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 dun da dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da dun da dun da dun da da. Yeah, whereas this is the kind of like nursery rhyme meter. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Duan. You want the U as instead of W for Duan? Maybe his name is Dwayne. He gets anglicized as Dwayne Tarun. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. This might work. So what's the material that we have left? Maram ngaman yodwan tarun baran bangriate. What's that one about Latin? Latin is a language as dead can be. It killed the ancient Romans and now it's killing me. Maram ngaman yodwan tarun baran bangriate. And then we got to rhyme tarun with Kra Nzlor. So something Kra Nzlor. And then we need something that ends in e. What do we have? Any lexical items that end in e that are nice and contentful? The sun. Oh, we got to put the sun in here. Maybe we can put something re. Obviously that won't work with this something re. So, hear me sing of Dwan Tarun who sailed against the tide. Something storm sailor. Something the sun. Who named Dwan Tarun? I don't know. We'd have to go back to the stream where we came up with the names. I don't remember. The holder of the fruit. Yeah, maybe he was born near a fruit tree and Ship, was it you? Well, your creation has new life. Dwan Tarun, maybe Dwan Tarun, when he was born, he was under a fruit tree and he got away from his parents and they were looking everywhere for him and then they found him holding a fruit or something like that. Foe vanquisher storm sailor. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Mrak Namya. So vanquish foe sailor storm. Well, no, this is supposed to be the free translation. Foe. How are we going to make this into English meter? He beat the foe, he sailed the storm. And something re. So let's do the proper glosses here. So here, sing, prop, Dwan Trun. What was this? Sail against current relative 1. Vanquish foe sail storm. Something sun. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm loving all of these ideas. I guess I had to put in a cut here. Let's not do it. Let's finish this line and then we'll put in the cut. I want to finish this poem. Marak Namya Kra Nzlor. What about the sun? So foe vanquisher, storm sailor. Maybe he's... What can we say about the sun? What do we have here? Maybe we have some sort of maybe the sun is his... Maybe the sun doesn't like him. Maybe this kind of like Hercules, Hera kind of relationship going on there. So he's suffers. Maybe he suffers something of this. He suffers punishment of the sun, or because we got to get some conflict into this first couplet. Suffers the burden of the sun. Yeah, he's like a Promethean figure, maybe. Suffers the heat of the sun? Is that too... He suffers the devouring of the sun? That could be something. So... We had, tra. Although this isn't going to be enough. Sorry, my brain is whirring away. I don't think devour is right, because he's not being devoured by chickens, not our Duantarun. Tra suffers the marks of the sun. Yeah, okay, we can come up with a word for mark. Tra, what do we need for the meter here? Tra tan tan ta yore. Tra. So we could have a two-word compound. Okay, let's just make up some forms. And we could have it be just a synonym compound or something. So tra, maybe tradak. So this could be something like write, inscribe. And then there's another one. Maybe it's something like who. Start out with who, and then humat. And this also means write, inscribe, or cut. Maybe this means cut. So dak humat. And let's take these and put them in along with le, so that we have it ready. Dak hmat. All right. Tradak hamat yore. So dak hamat is to suffer the marks. And bore marks from the sun or something. I don't know. I realize I'm making a cheesy English poem as well at the same time. Okay, so that the whole poem would be Maram mangman yodwan tarun baran bangri ate marak namya sakrat nzun tradak hamat yore. Right? Little bit of English ballad meter there, I think is the right term. I think that's not nothing. I kind of like that. Dak hamat. Tradak hamat yore. Maram man yudwantarun baran bangriate. Maraknmya sakratnzun tradak hamat yore. Oh, what happens next? Well, we'll have to find out next time, because I think we have to say a bit of farewell to our YouTube friends. Let them get their water, get on with their day, right? YouTube, thanks again for joining us. Come back next time and see what happens with Dwantarun. That's kind of cool. Yeah, YouTube has to wait. There are pluses. There are pluses for people who watch on YouTube. They get the snappy edits and all of this kind of stuff, and the little intro and everything, but they don't get to have the live vibe. All right. Okay, so got to do some housekeeping before we go into the next segment, which is to let you know that we're not going to be streaming on Thursdays for the next little while, probably around a month. The reason for this is that we have gone way behind on the edited videos. I'll put it to you this way. The next video that's coming out was shot in Peru, and I haven't been there for like 6 weeks. And so we don't want there to be too much of a lag between what people are seeing on the channel, and then if they watch the videos on the channel, they say, hey, I'd like to catch a stream one day, and they come, and then we're talking about stuff that's like months and months away from what they've seen last. So we got to catch up a little bit. But to make it up to you, we've got other things coming out that are non-stream videos that you'll be seeing some of soon, and we will have a special out of normal sequence stream next Friday, which is going to be on the theme of Mayan, and that's exciting. So, yeah, that's the thing. So we'll revisit it in a month. That'll give us some time, because basically what happened is Lucy and I were talking about this, and I calculated. So we release 3 videos per week on the channel, and I create on stream 6 to 8 segments per week. And then I was thinking, now I'm not a mathematician, but I don't think we're ever going to catch up. And so I said, okay, let's maybe cool it on the streams for a few weeks so we can catch up. Because it turns out that even if we did like a video every single day, it still wouldn't catch us up. So yeah. So we're going to we're keeping the Tuesday streams as is, and no Thursday stream for the next month or so. And then we'll revisit it, see how we've caught up after that. So that's the idea. But we got some exciting stuff coming up, and yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited about our Mayan stream. We're going to have a little. The other thing was like, now, I'll put it to you. Chat. I want to make sure that we have both experiences for people who want different things. We have the live experience for people who, want the interactivity, want to be here as it happens, and all of that. And then for people who are maybe a bit more crunched for time, they can watch the edited videos where, you may have noticed recently they've been getting a lot more concise. Try and get the best of both worlds that way. But anyway, other stuff that's gonna be happening in the next little while. The documentation project is ongoing, and so the whole world building, all these languages, they're going to find a home on my website, so we can have like some canonical documentation that looks kind of nice. As we get to doing more world building, we get maps, place names, timelines, these kinds of things. We're going to put all the information there. So if you're not familiar, I will show you the site. It is, as you might expect, colingorrie.com. We'll just look at that mug. Toggle the extension there, so you can see the proper dark mode experience. There you go. All sorts of, there's like a blog and other stuff you can see. So check that out if you're interested. And this is where the, if you go to the conlangs, you go here, you can see all this sort of documentation, and lo and behold, look, there's some interesting stuff going on here. The owl chicken world. So this is basically going to be fleshed out. All of these are just placeholders for now, but that's kind of how I'm going to be spending those stream hours, sprucing it up. So anyway, this is the plan. Yeah, we also need to come up with a name for the owl chicken world. This is my placeholder name. The Biraiverse. I don't know. Okay, so quack. Quack. I love quack. Quack doesn't have anything, so you can see it's less than a minute read. It's just much less than a minute actually. Anyway, so that is that, and I just went over the I just went through the website this morning, and I updated all the packages that go into it, and it was a bit painful. Kind of something I have to do every 6 months or so. As technology moves onwards, so that I don't get too out of date and lose my place, and then have to spend a whole weekend doing it. So anyway, a morning, not too bad of a sacrifice. But yeah, what are we on to next? I think we have to get more poetry done, right? I'm just gonna try and check the camera. Am I in focus? Seems a bit off. I don't know. Messing with the lighting setup too. You know, it's like you got to have one of those old 90s websites with the under construction thing going on, because that's what this setup is, always under construction. How about that? That seems better. Yeah, maybe it's just the camera's like looking at the shirt, and it's like, this shirt is so loud that I can't calibrate anything else that's going on. All right, well, the thing is, you're not really here to see me. You're here to see the conlang. So let's jump back in. We'll say hi to YouTube and bring them out. So YouTube, welcome back. We are writing poetry. We've come up with a meter for Kra Nzlor. We've come up with the first couplets. The first couplet of our epic poem about the Song of Duan Tarun is what it's called. And let's keep writing. We're going to learn more about the world building. We're going to learn more about the language. And when I say learn, I mean make up. So onwards and upwards. But whoa. Gotta thank the patrons. Always thank the patrons. Thank you, patrons, for making this all possible. Really, it's you who's keeping the lights on, figuratively and literally. All right, so over to the... Oh, no, that's not it. Over back to... Look! Light mode, because I turned off the thing for my website. No, we won't be... it burns. Dark reader. On. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it is bright. And I'm sorry, I know there are some of you who prefer the white background spreadsheets, but my eyes cannot take it, especially in the studio with the lighting situation and everything. Yeah, before I knew about Dark Reader, we had to put up with it. And if you go back to the very start of these playlists, you'll see, vintage Colin setup. It's something. Sawton, thank you. Yes, we'll work something out. We'll work something out on the patron call. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to recite the poem again. Let's just get rid of this version, which didn't end up making the cut. So if you haven't seen the first part of this YouTube and you're watching this now, maybe watch the episode before, where you can see how we came up with this poem. But basically, the lines are the poem itself, the word by word gloss, and then a terrible English poem, free translation. So, Mram man yo dwan tarun, baran bangriate, mrak mya sakraten zun, tradak mat yore. Right? Okay. So, oh, hear me sing of Dwan Tarun who sailed against the tide. He beat the foe, he sailed the storm, and bore marks from the sun. We don't have a nice rhyme in English. Maybe we could make it rhyme in English. No. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to make the poem. But anyway, so Dwan Tarun, we had some ideas in the chat, and I'm going to scroll up so that we can write them all down. And bore the sun's marks on his hide. He beat the foe, he sailed the storm, and bore and we need an extra foot for that. And bore the sun his hide. You know, we don't have bore sun. Bore sun's marks on his hide. That's it. Oh, I seem to have gone into a weird keyboard. Okay, where's the... Okay, there. Oh, hear me sing of Dwan Tarun who sailed against the tide. He beat the foe, he sailed the storm, bore sun's marks on his hide. That's good. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, Thomas, you got it. Jack's asking, wouldn't dakmat become dakmat with an aspirated K? Very, very, very well may have. We haven't done a proper phonological sketch of Kra Nzlor, so maybe phonetically. Oh, I see. Yep, I got it. I muted in time. That's one for the books. Okay, so what was I going to do? I feel like I'm very scattered. Kind of all the time, but especially today. Let's go back and see. There was some stuff about... For whatever reason, this doesn't allow me to scroll up that far. So I was going to write some notes about Dwan Tarun. So we have Dwan Tarun is the Proto-Sakrat form. And the... yeah, intro content. I should write that down. Dwan Tarun is the Proto-Sakrat form of this culture hero. Literally means... fruit holder, and we were wondering where that may have come from, and there were some ideas. I sort of half jokingly said maybe there's a childhood story of how he escaped and was found by a fruit tree holding fruit. I'm kind of reminded of the story of Hercules strangling the serpents in his bed as an infant. Yeah. So the question, what fruits are special to this culture? We have to dive into the world building for that, I think, a little bit. And oh my goodness, the work that has been done, I am just absolutely flabbergasted. Majahadra has to get a huge shout out here for having come up with some awesome climate maps, prevailing winds, currents, all of these things. We're going to need to incorporate that when we think about what fruits. That map. So maybe there's something to this fruit holding story. He escaped and was found by a fruit tree. Maybe he killed something. I don't know. What would be an animal that's associated with the sun? Maybe we can come up with this idea that this group does not really like the sun that much. They find the sun oppressive in their culture, and so they view themselves as kind of in rebellion against the sun. Maybe they get sunburned a lot and they don't like it. I don't know. And the sun is kind of like in some cultures where the sun is worshipped, this is where the sun is kind of the bad guy. Yeah, canary. Or maybe there's like a having killed a sunbird, he was holding the fruit of the tree. Mythological parallels going on here. Yeah, so like a phoenix, essentially. Something like that. How do I get this to... Let's put it here. And then have it go... There we go. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. So, there we go. That's better. So, Duan Tarun, fruit holder. The spreadsheet formatting segment, aka every segment. I bet no one's too upset that we're editing those out of the videos from now on. Okay, so fruit holder. Yeah, he killed a phoenix. He's holding the fruit of the tree. Maybe it's a special tree that has this. For this act, the sun swore vengeance on Duan Tarun and pursued him with I don't know, trials. Trees need sunlight. Yeah, I mean, it's true, but if they're coming from this sort of Polynesian-inspired island climate, they're probably not going to have too much. Now, okay, so I'll confess I don't know about the climate of Polynesia, but I'm envisioning, the sun beating down. We got a lot of sun. The sun situation is perhaps over the top. And maybe that's what they have. Or maybe they have this kind of notion of the sun that's split. So they have like the good sun and the bad sun. And the good sun is the sun that gives them all the stuff that makes the plants grow, yada, yada, yada. And the bad sun is the sun that burns them. And these two suns are in sort of combat or something like that. Or maybe... the culture as a whole likes the sun, but then this one group is anti-sun. I don't know. Exactly, Majahadu. That's it. The good sun draws you to the beach. The bad sun leaves you with the sunburn. I don't know. So there's something going on there, maybe. Literally two suns, that I don't know how that would influence all the world building stuff, and that's like way above my world building grade. I don't know. And pursued him with trials, something like this. The sun god. I think so. I think that's it. Oh, Jack. Yeah. I like that. So in the past, there was a good sun. But it has vanished and been replaced with a bad sun, and the people do sort of ritual acts in order to make the good sun return. Something like that. I like something like that. And, you know, then the question is, what's going to happen when these people encounter the owl worshippers? It's going to be, it's going to be a wild scene. And so Duantarun is kind of like the founding here. It's like the Aeneas of this culture. He's the first one who, maybe he's the one who taught them how to combat the bad sun or something like that. I don't know. Whoa, Sutton. What if the moon is the corpse of the good sun? Whoa. Oh my goodness. This is awesome. Okay. See what happens when we get together? Let's just put all of this and make this wrap. There we go. Okay. So something like this. Maybe we can incorporate some of this mythology into the poem. Maram ngaman yodwan tarun baran bangriate marak namya sakrat nzun tradak hamat yore. Okay, so then maybe we can incorporate the story of the childhood. Maybe we can incorporate the story of the childhood of Duantarun here. Just maybe mention it obliquely, and then go into the middle of the classic. I'm basically just copying epic convention from the classical world here, but we could jump into the in medias res, into the middle of things. So we could say something like, the one who, when young, slew the phoenix with a lemon. And then what can we say? Maybe something like, for 10 years wandered the waves. Something like this. And so we meet Duantarun in the middle of this wandering, this extensive wandering. Maybe it's a sort of the Odyssey style situation where he's been going around. We need so maybe Trun is specifically a lemon. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's use this as our base, and we can change it as we go if we want. So young so this would be something like young time slay phoenix ten years. Oh yeah, we need a relative. And this year's 10, right? Where did numerals go? Where did numerals go? Did we say? I don't think we said, but let's put them after. Yeah, this concept is amazing. And what a collaboration. Dwan Tarun slew a phoenix with a lemon as a child. Okay, so then let's see. Do we have a word for young? I'm assuming I'm just going to use this young time to mean like in his youth. I don't know if that's the greatest thing of all, but at least this allows us to customize. So mbit, that's time. Young time. Do we have use, or is it like an instrumental? Nom. And then we need a word for lemon. I don't know if we're going to use trun for that. Probably not. I think we want a different word. Do we have slay? Kill? No. So we need a kill word. We need a word for this phoenix, and then ate. I don't want to end in ate again because we just did. Nevertheless, let's keep going. Year 10. No, we don't have any of these. C. Satra. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Kusli. So, really the C. Okay, Satra. Can we just say the yellow fruit? Yes. Oh, and Jack, thank you. I don't know why I keep messing up the order within the noun phrase. Okay. So this is the phoenix. And I think I saw daswi for lemon. What is daswi is in here, right? Is it just empty? No, it's not. We don't have it at all. Okay, that's going in. Maybe we could say yellow fruit. Let's see how this works out with the meter. And then let's see if we need to do anything else. Stra. Ooh, stra. I like that. Okay, so phoenix is stra. Daswi, zwi. With the caveat that we can change our word for lemon to be yellow fruit or sour fruit or something like that. And zwi does sound very sour though, it's right. Beat young. Okay, we need some more words here. Kukur. Oh, Elijah, I love that. Kukur for kill. What does it give us? Kur. But it's a special kur that allows us to have an iamb there. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just, maybe if it turns into one consonant, then that iamb is gone forever. Beat. Okay, what else do we need? Beat. We need a word for young, which we don't have. No. Okay, let's look at our proto inventory. Beat. So if we look at the meter here, we have weak, strong. We want this to be weak. Yeah, this could be iambic too. And then we'd have to, but then we're in this trouble of having strong, weak, strong here. Unless we do this weak time young. And we sort of demote it to make it fit into the meter here. Skur, sutra, ate. Yeah, this line is going to be hard. Hanong. Oh, hey, Quay. Hanong. I like that. Nong. That's beautiful. Okay, mbit nong nom. Mbit nong nom. Yeah, there's something off here. But I think this can work. So essentially what you can do sometimes in iambic pentameter is to swap things around. So instead of weak, strong, you can do weak, weak, strong, strong, or strong, strong, weak, weak. So maybe that's what's happening here. Mbit nong nom menzui kur stra. Oh, although we're doing 4 then 3, right? So the rest of it has to go. Mbit nong nom menzui kur. It's a bit awkward. I'll say that. A bit awkward indeed. Sutra ate. Okay. Sutrate. Okay, that's fine. We can work with that. Mbit nong no menzui kur. No menzui kur. Yeah, because if nom, so nom I want to be a weak, because it's really more of an instrumental. Oops, instrumental. So then we'd have this. Maybe we'd have this coalescence of the 2 weeks. So we have foot, 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 and then we can put something here, something weak, some grammatical particle that goes right before phoenix, for sleigh. And then we take phoenix and put it down in the next line. Yeah, okay. This ain't your grandma's iambic pentameter. Yadiel, do I have the option disabled? I don't know. I will have to ask Lucy, our intrepid producer, about the Twitch settings because I don't know very much about them. But yes, I will get back to you on that one. I will write down over somewhere. Hold on 1 second. Writing down There we go. I just used my chat to Lucy as a notepad. I hope she understands what I'm saying. Okay, so just make Nzui a single strong syllable. So if we have the option to treat these historical IAMs as just strong syllables, then we could do that. So mbit nong nom zui something kur. And maybe we could use our le here, which should be some sort of a past tense thing. Like some sort of a distant past. Maybe. Mbit nong nom zui le kur. And then we have our iambic tetrameter here. Non zui. Okay, so Quain's got us just non zui ba kur. So instead of using something like distant past, we could have a different word for kill. That's fine. Let's do it. Okay, so what can we use? Let's use something that's kind of weak to give us our verb of slaying. Maybe just so. Another root that means kill. And let's put it into the change-o-matic. So, sokur. And so these go together. Sokur. Just a kind of a synonym compound there. Mbit nong nom zui sokur. And then we have to go over and finish the line. So when young with a lemon killed the phoenix, ate, maybe we can avoid this ate. It's sort of understood. We could just keep the a in maybe. Satra a. And we need to finish this up with SWS. So maybe some kind of a word meaning hero or something. And okay, wow, we have some really good suggestions coming in the chat about the evolution of this kill word. I'm going to write these down. So maybe so means die, and then it gets used in this kill compound. What's really going to be interesting is to see these roots that we make for this poem and for this language. We're going to see how they change into like say mi or sasiut or some of the other languages, or pkwak. Yeah, I like that. So the root could be flip, and then it goes to die and then to kill. Cool. All right, so mbit nong nom zui sokur satra a, and then we need something to end it. And let's make a word that means hero. And I don't know what we're going to derive this from. We could just make up some more roots. We could make one like great and then one hero. So let's get a monosyllable for great. Oh no, we need a monosyllable for hero, don't we? Phoenix, Rel, hero, great. Yeah. Okay. And then we have to think of what we want this to be rhyming with as well. There's a lot. This is like Sudoku with words. Victory person. Quain. Victory. Girak. Mrak. Stra. Stra. Amrak. And then do we have person? Suit. Okay. Stra asiut marak. So this is literally person victory, but it means hero. Put that together. Okay, so this whole line. Mbit nong nomzui sokur stra asiut marak. Mbit nong nomzui sokur stra asiut marak. Asiut marak. All right, moving on. Years 10 wandered the sea. You know what? I might put in a little break for YouTube just so I can do the whole water splash thing and give Birai a chance to come back. So let's put in a little break here. YouTube, thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure, as usual. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. It's all great. Come back next time, and we will see more of the adventures of Duan Tarun. Okay. All right. I'm going to Birai. And I will see you in about a minute. That's not the right one. There you go. Birai. We didn't get it. I don't know. It was one of those magical events. You know, when the stars align and a meme is born. But, you know, hopefully we'll see Birai soon on the Discord. All right. We are learning a lot about the Kra Nzlor people. A lot. And all from just a few lines of admittedly dubious poetry. We'll say that. We got Dwan Tarun fan art in the Discord. Oh my goodness, I gotta see this. We have to show this. Oh. Okay. I'm going to show it. Check this out. Oops. Look at this. Marked with thorns for having slain the phoenix. This is awesome. Oh, who is this? Sciurium. I always try several pronunciations. Very, very nice. All right. Just leave that up for a second and appreciate. All right. Let's continue. Let's go and try and wrap up our poem. See if we can get 2 lines out of it. Oh, Shurium is Pixel. Pixel is Shurium. Oh, who knew? Wonderful. Okay, so we're moving in. We are. Oh, I have to go back here and welcome YouTube. YouTube, welcome back. We have some poetry to write. I have some patrons to thank. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons for making this possible. You guys are the best. But let's just go into the stream before I get too gushy and emotional, shall we? Alrighty. So we have a little poem here. If you haven't seen the other episodes where we've made this poem, I would recommend them. So you can see the process, the artistry, and all of that. But in the meantime, if you are all caught up, we can keep going. So we have our poem, and I will recite it. It is called The Song of Dwan Tarun. Ahem. Mram man yo Dwan Tarun, barang bangriate. Mrak nmyas krat nzun, tradak hamat yore. Mbit non nomzui sokur stra asyut marak. And then we have to finish it. What's it going to end with? All right, so basically we've said the one who, when young, slew the phoenix with a lemon. When young, he slew the fire bird. When young, he slew the fire bird. When young, he slew the fire bird. And it's hard to say. When young, he wielded lemon, slew the firebird. Firebird. What a guy. Okay, that's terrible, but we'll leave it in for now. Okay, so then we need to come up with another 4-foot line to rhyme with kur, and then a 3-foot line to rhyme with rak. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so we have a few choices for things to put to make rhyme with marak. We could do pkak, which is the word for chicken. We could do prak, which is the word for gather, collect, or harvest. That seems more likely than the chicken one, I think. Yo, what a guy. So let's aim to end this with prak, meaning gather. And let's aim to end, so kur. What else do we have that ends in ur? Let's see if we can. find in this ur? Mur. Oh, arrow. Oh, that works. So I'm not attached to this wandering the sea business. So let's just replace it with something, 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 more, arrow. Okay, so those are our endpoints. Mur. So blah, 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 arrow, blah, 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 gather. So maybe this is recounting the later victories and trials of Tuan Tarun. The word order for Kra Nzlor is, we have it over here, SVO, prepositions, complementizer before the embedded clause, noun before the relative clause. No, sorry, noun before the relative clause. Which means that the ate that I've been doing is wrong. Well, maybe in Kra Nzlor it changed. Noun plus demonstrative, possessum, and then possessor. So that's roughly what we have. And he happened upon an arrow and found where the phoenixes gather. Okay, excellent. So I like that. I think we should use a different word for phoenix than we've had before. So let's see if we can... Let's see if we can use something like firebird. Do we have fire? We don't. Okay, so we need fire. We have... Now here's the question. Is a phoenix a peacock or is it a teep? Because we have two main divisions of what we would think of as birds in this culture. We have peacock and teep, or in the proto-culture, pukak and titip. So pukak are fowl, like chickens, and titip are songbirds. So I think the phoenix would be a peacock, which means that we could actually have this be bird and get peacock in, which I think although if we say firebird, it's going to have to be peacock something. This noun adjective order is really bothering me. All right. Well, fire goose. Let's come up with a word for fire. Chat, actually, that's a good assignment for you. Any ideas for a word for fire in Proto-Sakrat? Ura. Ooh, that's really cool. I like that. Fire. And what's going to happen to it? Roi. Cool. Roi. It's a shame we don't get to end with peacock. How are we going to do this? So we have roi in Kra Nzlor. So really, firebird would be peacock roi. But I don't know how... But I want to rhyme with peacock. This is a real shame. Or we could go back to gather and say peacock roi prak. That would work. Although notice that these are both non-iambic. So pakak is iambic. We can epanthaesize there. Pakak. Oops, I put these in the wrong order. Again. Okay, so we have weak, strong, strong, strong. No potential parenthesis here. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Pakak, roi, prak. I think we need something. We need some weak here and some weak here. Or we just say pakak roi. We demote pakak to a weak because it's a compound. Bird fire, that would work. Pakak roi. And then we need a whole second foot. And then something before prak. It's tough. Poetry is tough. Pakak roi. Pakak roi. Almost sounds French. Bird fire, something, something, gather. Maybe we have some kind of Irialis thing, like he shoots his arrow wherever the firebirds may gather, something like that. And then we could use our le, because I want to use this le. I really like this. So maybe this is Irialis. Do we have an Irialis already? No, we don't. Okay. So, le. And then we could just have an adjective after pakak roi. Like, what do we have? Maybe, oh, okay, what about this? This is kind of some interesting world building. What if our word for the goddess Manis just becomes a generic word for like the divine? Because Manis, aka Mien, is no longer worshipped in this culture. This culture is all about this duality between the good sun and the bad sun. And Manis is just sort of not part of this situation. So maybe in Kra Nzlor, the mis just means divine or spiritual or something like that. Pakak roi mis le. Sorry, wait. Pakak roi mis le prak. So that rhymes with Satra Asyut Marak. So then we have to finish up our work with this arrow line. So we need to say that he, what do we have? He shot his arrow. He shot from his skin. Okay, whoa. I'm seeing some cool stuff in the chat here. He shot Pixels written. He shot from his skin the arrows which killed those whose rule he wished to gather. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit all of that in, but let's try and get some of the spirit of that. Or echoed words is coming up with when he shoots with his enemies with arrows, top with firebird feathers he gathers. Okay. Let's try and stew all of this around and come up with something. So if we have this second half, which is where the divine firebirds may gather. We could say something like, we could say something like, he's shooting, or he's always found with bow and arrow wherever the phoenixes gather, or something like that. I don't know. Here's the question. Is Duan Tarun soup or stew? Would Duan Tarun prefer soup or stew? That's the question that I posed to you, chat. We can use maybe this ngabie, which becomes mbie. So this is something like shoot. Throw. And then we need 2 more feet here. Note that I haven't actually so far established any connection between these 2 lines. It's just he shoots the arrow, the divine firebirds may gather. I might have to... Maybe we could make this into something like a copular construction, like the place where he shoots the arrow, or the destination of the arrow, is where the divine firebirds gather. So then let's look at, we don't have a word for place. Let's use something that we haven't actually used yet. Krang. So krang is a place. And then we need the relative. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with this ate business, because it seems to contradict the noun plus relative clause marker here. Or maybe what we do is we just leave the syntax of this a bit ambiguous and let the reader the listener figure it out. That's also an option. And because we have 5 minutes left, I think that's the option we're going to take. So we will not worry about relative clauses yet. We will... Yeah, I'm going to take Jack's suggestion here. He aims and shoots arrows towards where divine firebirds may gather. So then we could say, let's get a word for aim. Nzir, maybe. Nzir. So aim. And what else can we put in here to give us do we have like a 2? Okay, sere. Okay, this can be like it's a verb, but it's acting more like a preposition. So to, and then krang, which is place. So he aims to the place, he shoots his arrow where the divine firebirds gather. I think that'll work. So here we have so essentially we have a translation like he aims there, he shoots his arrow, where's there? Wherever the divine firebirds gather. I think that's what's going on here. Bleh, bleh, bleh. All right, so then we have Nzir sre krang mbie mwur kakrwa mis la prak. So the whole couplet Mbit hanon nomzui sokurs tra asyut marak nzir srekrang mbie mwur pkakrwa. I don't really want to put kak as a wheat here. Nzir srekrang mbie mwur pkakrwa mis leprak. Yeah, I'm not totally satisfied with it, but we're running out of time, so let's say good enough for today. I think we've done a ton. And we've had a very almost scholastic debate in the chat about stoop versus stew and the relationship of lemons and what Duan Tarun would prefer. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. This has been fun. YouTube, this has been fun, hasn't it? I love writing poetry. I love making up poetic systems. I think this is an absolute joy. Thank you for being here with us as we do it. We will see you next time. Come back. More Duan Tarun, more Sakrat, more everything, more World of Owls and Chickens. It'll all be here. So we will see you next time. And chat. What? That was amazing. Oh, I can't get over the amazing creativity of all of you. Truly fantastic. I think people are going for the broth. I've never had a lemon soup. Now, as you know, I'm not a soup guy, but I have had a lemon stew. Something to think about. Okay, so I think with that, I will bid you adieu shortly. I want to just make sure that there's nothing in the chat that I haven't. There's probably plenty that I haven't addressed, but just nothing at the end there. Lemon broth. Can we get a comment on lemon broth? You know what? I'll try it. But have you ever had a lemon chickpea stew? This, I think, is a joy. Yeah, and just like quite a bit of olive oil in there as well. All right. I'm out. I feel my voice starting to say, hey, maybe ease up. So I will see you. We'll see you next Tuesday on stream. Same bat time, same bat channel. So until then.